Hey there, night dwellers. Join the Phantom Troupe for a serene escape into dreamland with enchanting sleep stories. Let the calming tales transport you to a world of peaceful slumber and restful nights.
Hey there, earthly adventurers. I'm Gabriel, your guide through the uncharted territories of mystery and ancient wonders right here on our home planet. It's a pleasure to have you on this journey with me. Tonight, we're diving into a thrilling exploration that intertwines tales of extraterrestrial intrigue and the enigmatic secrets of ancient civilizations. Before we immerse ourselves in this captivating narrative, take a moment to release the weight of the day's events. Inhale deeply, allowing the earthly concerns to fade away. Exhale, embracing the comforting calm that surrounds you. As we embark on this mysterious tale set on our own planet, picture yourself on the edge of anticipation, eager to unravel the secrets that Earth holds. The story we're about to unfold draws inspiration from real-life mysteries and unsolved legends, creating a tapestry of intrigue that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Feel the tension in your muscles dissipate with each breath. With the day behind you and a sense of relaxation setting in, let the excitement of Earth's unknown mysteries heighten your senses. Together, we'll navigate through the twists and turns of this suspenseful narrative right here on our home turf. Now, as the world around you fades away and the mystery unfolds on Earth, allow the soothing rhythm of my voice to guide you into a tranquil state. Stay tuned as we step into the mysterious unknown, where every moment holds the promise of revelation, right here on our familiar yet mysterious planet. The Battle of Los Angeles unfolded during a period of intense national anxiety and fear. On December 7, 1941, just a little over 2 months before the incident, Japan had attacked the U.S. Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor, plunging the United States into World War II. The assault killed over 2,400 Americans, destroyed much of the Pacific Fleet, and shook the nation to its core. With war now a reality, the U.S. government and public became acutely aware of the threat of further attacks, particularly along the West Coast, which was perceived to be vulnerable to Japanese invasion. The days following Pearl Harbor were marked by a sense of heightened alertness. The possibility of Japanese submarines surfacing off the coast, or even launching aerial attacks on American cities, was not considered far-fetched. In fact, Japanese submarines did conduct operations off the coast of California during this time, further stoking fears. One such incident occurred on February 23, 1942, just one day before the Battle of Los Angeles, when a Japanese submarine surfaced and shelled an oil refinery near Santa Barbara, California. Though the damage was minimal, the attack underscored the very real threat of enemy action, contributing to the jittery atmosphere that would define the events in Los Angeles. The U.S. military was placed on high alert, and coastal cities like Los Angeles took extraordinary measures to defend against possible attacks. Blackouts, air raid drills, and the deployment of anti-aircraft artillery became common sights. Radar technology, still in its infancy at the time, was being rapidly developed and deployed to detect incoming enemy aircraft. However, the systems were prone to false positives and misidentifications, adding to the tension. It was in this atmosphere of heightened vigilance and paranoia that the events of February 24-25 would unfold. The events of the night of February 24-25 began with a series of reports of unidentified aircraft over the skies of Los Angeles. At around 7 to 18 p.m. on the 24th, the U.S. Naval Intelligence issued a warning that an attack on the continental U.S. could be expected within the next 10 hours. This warning was taken seriously, given the recent shelling near Santa Barbara, and put all defense systems on high alert. The first indication of an impending threat came just after 2 a.m. on February 25th, when radar operators reported detecting an unidentified object approximately 120 miles west of Los Angeles. This radar contact appeared to be moving toward the coast. In response, a blackout was ordered for the city of Los Angeles, plunging it into darkness to avoid offering any lighted targets to potential enemy aircraft. Air raid sirens began to wail, signaling to residents that an attack could be imminent. Shortly after 3 a.m., military personnel manning anti-aircraft guns opened fire. Powerful searchlights illuminated the night sky, sweeping back and forth, attempting to locate the source of the threat. Soon, the darkened skies were lit up by the bright explosions of anti-aircraft shells. Thousands of rounds were fired at what was believed to be enemy aircraft approaching the city. The sounds of the explosions, mixed with the wail of sirens, created a scene of confusion and terror among the residents of Los Angeles, many of whom huddled in basements and bomb shelters, unsure of what was happening above. For over an hour, the barrage continued. The anti-aircraft batteries fired over 1,400 rounds, targeting what they believed were hostile aircraft. Yet no bombs were dropped on the city, and no aircraft were shot down. Witnesses reported seeing strange lights in the sky, though accounts varied widely. Some claimed to have seen planes flying in formation, while others described strange, slow-moving objects or lights that did not resemble conventional aircraft. By 4:15 a.m., the all-clear signal was given and the blackout was lifted. The skies were quiet once again, but the confusion had only begun. In the hours and days following the incident, military officials scrambled to explain what had occurred. Initial reports suggested that the military had indeed engaged enemy aircraft, though this explanation would quickly come under scrutiny due to the lack of wreckage or other tangible evidence. If enemy planes had been shot down, where were the remains? If bombs had been dropped, why was there no damage? The U.S. military's first official response, issued on the afternoon of February 25th, indicated that the air raid had been a false alarm. Secretary of the Navy Frank Knox held a press conference in which he downplayed the event, attributing the anti-aircraft fire to war nerves and possibly misidentifications of weather balloons or other objects. He assured the public that no enemy planes had been involved and that the defense forces had simply overreacted in a time of heightened tension. This explanation, however, was not universally accepted. Major General George C. Marshall, Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army, sent a report to President Franklin D. Roosevelt that suggested the possibility of a real air raid. Marshall noted that while no bombs had been dropped and no planes were shot down, the presence of unidentified aircraft was plausible, and the incident required further investigation. This ambiguity in the official responses only fueled speculation and uncertainty. In the days that followed, newspapers and the public latched onto the story, leading to widespread debate over what had really happened. Some accused the military of incompetence, suggesting that the anti-aircraft fire had been a reckless and panicked response to a non-existent threat. Others speculated that the government was covering up the true nature of the incident, perhaps to avoid causing public panic. In the absence of definitive evidence, a variety of theories emerged to explain the Battle of Los Angeles. These theories range from the plausible to the fantastic, each attempting to account for the confusion and chaos of that night. One of the most widely accepted explanations at the time, and one that was initially promoted by the military, was that the entire incident was a false alarm caused by misidentified weather balloons. It was suggested that weather balloons used for meteorological observations may have been mistaken for enemy aircraft by nervous radar operators and military personnel. The reflection of searchlights off these balloons, combined with the tense atmosphere, could have created the illusion of enemy planes in the sky. Proponents of this theory point to the fact that weather balloons were commonly used during the war for a variety of purposes, and their slow, drifting movement could have been easily misinterpreted as an aerial attack. However, critics argue that this explanation does not account for the scale of the response. It seems unlikely that trained military personnel would have confused a few weather balloons with a coordinated air raid, nor does it explain the reports of large, unexplained objects seen by some witnesses. Another theory, more in line with wartime fears, was that Japanese aircraft had indeed launched a reconnaissance or diversionary mission over Los Angeles. Given the proximity of Japanese forces in the Pacific and the recent shelling near Santa Barbara, this was a logical conclusion for many at the time. However, no evidence of Japanese planes or submarines involved in the incident has ever been uncovered. Japanese military records after the war indicated no such operation took place. Some have speculated that the event may have been a Japanese psychological warfare tactic designed to sow confusion and fear among the American public. But again, there is no hard evidence to support this. Perhaps the most enduring and controversial theory surrounding the Battle of Los Angeles is the idea that the military was not firing at conventional enemy aircraft, but at unidentified flying objects, UFOs, of extraterrestrial origin. This theory emerged in the decades following the incident and gained traction among UFO enthusiasts, especially after the U.S. government TM's later handling of other incidents involving unidentified aerial phenomena, such as the Roswell incident in 1947. Those who support the UFO theory point to eyewitness accounts that describe large, slow-moving objects in the sky that did not resemble any known aircraft. Some witnesses claim to have seen disc-shaped craft or objects that moved in ways inconsistent with conventional aircraft technology of the time. Proponents of this theory also note the lack of wreckage or physical evidence, suggesting that the objects were not shot down because they were not of earthly origin. The UFO explanation has been bolstered by the fact that no official explanation ever fully accounted for all aspects of the event. In particular, the disparity between the intense anti-aircraft barrage and the absence of any physical evidence or damage has led some to conclude that the military was engaging with something beyond human technology. The Battle of Los Angeles remains one of the most puzzling and debated incidents in American history. While the most plausible explanation is that the event was a combination of misidentifications and heightened wartime nerves, the lack of definitive answers has ensured that the mystery endures. Theories of UFOs and extraterrestrial involvement continue to capture the public imagination, while historians point to the broader context of wartime fear and the technological limitations of the time. What is clear is that the Battle of Los Angeles was a unique event, emblematic of the anxiety that gripped the United States in the early months of World War II. Whether it was a false alarm, a real enemy incursion, or something far more mysterious, it remains a fascinating chapter in the history of both the war and the persistent human quest for answers to the unknown.